Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Mullen Automotive Incorporated. This is ticker symbol MULN for those of you that don't know. And yeah, simply one of the more popular stocks on the market right now. I know in a video a couple days ago, we saw that this was like the number 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, a top 10 retail held stock, which is really, really interesting and exciting. It's also a very volatile stock. It's down like 80% year to date, but over the past like month or month and a half, or maybe closer to 2 months at this point, I think it was like late February, early March, it's up like 100% or over 100% or something crazy. Like so much movement. It's an American-made EV player, a ton to talk about. Obviously, you can see here it's down 2.94% today, but hey, down or up 1.52% after hours. Obviously, today's Friday, so this was not necessarily the best way to end the week. We'll have to see what happens on Monday, but in this video today, we're going to be going over all the latest for Mullen stock so you guys can stay up to date on everything that's going on. So definitely drop a like if you do enjoy it. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, as always, there's not going to be any financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy anything. Not telling you guys to sell anything, nothing like that. Just going over the latest, talking about some news stories, giving my thoughts and opinions. With that being said, let's get right into this. So obviously 2.94% down is not a great day for an individual stock. It's not the worst day that Mullen has seen by any means, but it's not a good day. Down 3%, that's a pretty significant move on the downside. But you always have to put things in context. You always have to look at the greater market. When you look at some of the other major indices out there, you have the Dow Jones that was down 2.77. You have the S&P that was down 3.63. NASDAQ down 4.17. If the NASDAQ is down over 4%, that is a horrible day for so many stocks on the stock market. And then you also have the Russell that was down 2.81%. So really, when you have that information and you take that into account, all of a sudden this wasn't that terrible of a day for Mullen. You could even make an argument or a case that this could have been a good day or like a fine day for Mullen, because again, they outperformed some of those major indices. And in the long run, everything's going to go up and down. Stocks are going to go up and down. But if on your bad days you're still outperforming some of the major indices, that's overall pretty good. So yeah, obviously if you're holding Mullen and you have 3% less value today, that's not great, and that probably feels a little bit bad, but, you got to keep it in context, keep it in perspective. One of the things we're talking about today is this article from InvestorPlace.com. Mullen Automotive is the only rationally valued EV maker, which is obviously a really, really big statement from them. As a crazy bull market stampede dust clears, prudent speculation is better than blind enthusiasm, which is funny because a lot of people on the negative side of Mullen would say that there is a lot of blind enthusiasm with Mullen. So the fact that this article is saying, hey, Mullen is good because there isn't blind enthusiasm, is kind of interesting. It just shows that this stock is so polarizing. There's so many people on both sides, and so many people have literally completely opposite viewpoints and opinions on it, which is normal. Maybe that's how things should be, but I don't know. They do say that Mullen short interest is falling. That's definitely good. The EV market is finally adjusting to a world that isn't driven by SPACs or meme stocks. Again, definitely a good thing in the long run for the stock market. But yes, that has largely been the story throughout much of 2020, end of 2020, and really all of 2021 was, a lot of meme stocks, a lot of SPACs, all that stuff going on. And then valuations on some of the top names is still outrageous given bigger players entering the market. So it makes sense that Mullen stock has a collection of proponents and detractors. That's healthy. Again, that's kind of what I was saying just now. And so is its meager sub $400 million market cap. The fact is, it's just a speculation stock, just like most of the other EV makers out there. And this fascination with EVs goes all the way back. I don't know. They talk about the history of stuff. Some of there. This guy says, my point here is that there's always fascinations and trends that seem to bubble up every century or so. It's long enough for everyone living to forget what happened back then. And in a society where progress is the name of the game, history is always stuck on the roof rack. So I thought that was kind of funny. They talk about Mullen being a timely addition to the EV pack, and then they kind of give their summary here at the end. They say the simple fact is that there are, again, plenty of EV makers to choose from now. The real question is whether you want to make a measured risk or a blind risk in this sector. A measured risk is buying a company that has a simple platform with realistic goals and some diversification. A blind risk is buying the coolest, hottest name out there so you can tell your friends you're a rebel too. Certainly, Tesla and other EV investors have made money, but we're investing now, not then, which I think is a very, very big point. Just because Tesla has been one of the best investments in the entire stock market and, the best EV stock market investment, yada, 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 for the last year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, doesn't mean that that's going to be the case going forward. And, as their valuation gets crazier and crazier and higher, eventually there's going to be a ceiling on this whole thing. Maybe. I mean, that's what people have been saying forever regarding Tesla, of course, but just kind of hammering home that that's what this guy's kind of going for here. He says, and right now in this market, taking measured risk is a way better way to go until all this selling and rotating takes their courses. The easy money is done for now. What's your move? He says last month, Mullen CEO David Mistry said that it's landing a major Fortune 500 company as a client and will announce in Q2. We're coming up, or we're in Q2 right now, obviously. Real customers are good things, and with the stock trading 75% down year to date, it has more upside than downside. So this is really, really interesting. A whole article from a website like this talking about, really talking up Mullen and saying how it stands out and shines in the EV market valuation-wise, like as an investment, not just as a company, not just as potential, not just as speculation, but that like the risk to reward ratio is there and that, hey, in a crazy sector like EVs where tons of things are, way, way, way overblown and overvalued and just make no sense, that, hey, maybe Mullen might make the most sense. Thought that was kind of an interesting read. We have this as well. More and more people keep talking about who this Fortune 500 company is going to be, obviously, because it's going to be announced in Q2, allegedly, hopefully, and we're in Q2 right now. April, May, June, that's what we're looking at. It's April 29th, so hopefully we're getting closer and closer to something like this. Now, some people have been talking about how they think it is going to be a Houston or Texas-based Fortune 500 company because, I don't know if it was Mullen or Mistry or whatever, said they have some connections in Houston or Texas or whatever, and people are kind of putting these things together. Some people are saying, hey, no, they're two separate things. The Fortune 500 company deal is its own thing, and then, the connections and ties to Houston or Texas or whatever is its own thing. Some people are mashing these together, but these are some of the Fortune 500 companies that are based in the Houston metro area for people to kind of take a look at. Obviously, some interesting ones: Phillips 66, Cisco, Hewlett Packard, ConocoPhillips, however you say it, Waste Management, Kinder Morgan, Halliburton. We have NRG Energy. I don't know if there was anything else. And so it just kind of gets people speculating about, what's it going to be, talking about all the different options. This guy says he's thinking Waste Management. This guy's saying Cisco would be huge, food delivery vans. Then other people are saying, assuming it has to be Texas-based, I'm not nailing it down yet. So some people think it's Houston-based, some people think it's Texas-based, and some people think it has nothing to do with that at all. So I think that is kind of interesting. I think somebody said it could be, though. Mistry never clarified for certain. And then there was a message, maybe it was this one. I don't know. There was some people saying that, hey, okay, right here. I believe the Texas connection is different from the Fortune 500. So again, people don't even necessarily know, but hey, if it is Houston-based, if it is going to be Texas-based, could be one of these companies. We'll have to wait and see. But again, that announcement should be coming in within the next couple of months. We also had this. Mike Perry, I don't know who this guy is. Apparently stock trader, crypto trader. I don't know. He has 85,000 followers on Twitter. But he tweeted out, Mullen looking to partner up with Fortune 500 Fedex. This will push the price to over $20 May 6th. Book your calendar. So again, he thinks not only is a announcement coming within the week, like I think that would be next Friday, he also believes that it's going to be FedEx and it's going to make the stock run like crazy. I don't know. This is just another rumor, another speculation, more tweets and stuff going out there right now. We also have this guy talking about, this is on the Mullen subreddit, how we have a lot to be excited about. He says, I went to another stock sub to see what all the fuss was about. I simply asked for one of the 12,000 members to tell me a reason to buy the stock that didn't have to do with the potential squeeze. The best answer was if it doesn't squeeze, it's still forecasted to get to $6 by the end of the year. It's at $5 now. Feeling even better about what I'm holding with Mullen. Happy Friday. So, people are just saying that, yeah, some stocks don't have a story. Some stocks don't have a business. Some stocks don't have growth potential or a bull case or anything like that. It's just, hey, we're overly shorted, short squeeze, yada, yada, yada. But these people who are excited about Mullen are at least saying, like, yes, we potentially have a Fortune 500 deal. We're potentially going to be, ordering and delivering and producing a bunch of cars, a bunch of EVs, a bunch of vans, doing all this stuff. It's made in the USA. It has a great story. We have, growth potential and all these things. So that's where, at least shareholders of Mullen and investors of Mullen are hoping that this thing could be different. And then wanted to end on this one. May will be a very good month. This guy's talking about how there's too much FUD and shills in here. So he is saying this is the stuff to be excited about. In May, we have earnings. Company expects to report in excess of $65 million in cash and cash equivalents when it files Form 10Q for the second quarter ending March 31st. We have the battery retest to counter the Hindenburg report, apparently. We'll have to see how that goes. And then in May and June, we are hopefully going to have this Fortune 500 van deal announcement as well. So again, we've had a lot of negative news, a lot of negative catalysts, some things pushing it down. The stock, hasn't necessarily been doing that great recently, but maybe Q2 will be good. Maybe the rest of 2022 will be good to Mullen and Mullen shareholders. We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to follow and watch and cover either way. And I'm definitely going to continue to do so because I think it's awesome to just see what's going on with this stock and with this company. But that's pretty much it for this video today. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Muln. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.